Hey there, YouTube friends. maskedbandit here, and we're back in Conifer Slopes. Just me and you. And this is the beginning of Phase 2. Phase 1 was put up for download a little while ago. If you haven't already checked that out, the link is down in the description below. You really should do that so that you know exactly what's going on with the park as we get started breaking ground in Phase 2 today. Phase 2 will be, I guess if you're looking at the park from the entrance area, this will be to the west of Category 5, kind of directly behind where I am looking right now. We are breaking ground on a new area, which I will, of course, spend lots of time talking about, both today and in the future. So it's kind of fun to have Conifer Slopes back. Been several weeks, and I've tried some other games, and, you know, Planet Coaster, it's always there for you. So we're just sitting here watching Category 5 do its thing. Still need to put a POV together of that. Although I suppose if you want to write it, you can just download Phase 1 of Conifer Slopes. Did I mention it's in the link below? You really should do that if you haven't. Anyway, so glad you're here to watch the beginning of Phase 2. And so I will see you guys in the time lapse, which will be on the other side of this cut. Okay, so we're here in the time lapse. And I guess now would be a good time to kind of, if you're new to the channel, or if you hopped on to maybe you came here because of Bro Coaster and you haven't really paid much attention to Conifer Slopes. If you're checking it out for the first time, a quick review. Conifer Slopes is my kind of pet project. It's been a part of my, I guess, portfolio since 2007, back in RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. It was the very first thing I ever posted on a public forum. And it went through 3 versions in RollerCoaster Tycoon 3, and then this version here on Planet Coaster. And this will be the first time we work on this area since the original version. Because the first 3 times, the first 3 times I built this park, or actually the 2 rebuilds in RollerCoaster Tycoon, we never made this side. We always went to the east of the main area, and I decided this time we're going to go to the west. So for those of you that haven't been around since 2007, which if I was a betting man, I would bet would be most of you, what is this? In the original version of Conifer Slopes, there was an area that had a big lake in the middle, and it was aptly named Jonathan Lake, after yours truly. You know, a little self-indulgent, a little egotistical maybe, or just maybe I'm terrible at names. Either way, Jonathan Lake was a area that was really kind of chill. It had no major rides. It did have a junior coaster, and it had some rowboats and a couple kiddie rides and an outdoor theater. And it was super rustic, kind of Swissy, kind of... it was one of my first forays into the Shy Guys world, the Shy Guy Alpine sets. So that's what that was, and I was never really happy with it once I got... I liked it when I first built it, but then as I got better at RollerCoaster Tycoon, I never really enjoyed it as much, and I always wanted to do something different with it. So this is the first time we're actually going to be doing something different. And you can see some of the ideas are still here. Instead of a lake, I guess it's still kind of a lake, but our main inspiration for this area this time is going to be a wharf. We're kind of like, think New England. I've been researching for the last several days on different areas, and there's Newport, Rhode Island. It has a wharf, and it's, oh goodness, what is that wharf called? Newport. Let me look that up real quick. Newport Wharf, and it is called Bowen's Wharf. So if you Google Bowen's Wharf, you will see some inspirational photos, and so that's what's going on with this area this time. And you'll notice I'm playing with this whole raised path in the back. My idea is have all the attractions, or a majority of the attractions, down on the main level, and then up raised we'll have our shops and our restaurants and that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be using that style of Bowen's Wharf architecture, a kind of colonial, well, you'll see. Today I just really wanted to pound out the overall layout, which is unusual for me. Normally when I build, I just kind of throw down an attraction here. I space out my attractions where I want them, and then I make the paths work. But with the way paths work and terrain, the way they interact here in Planet Coaster, I wanted to get the outline of the wharf. And so that required some planning from the get-go that I don't normally do. And I actually like the result. I think it turned out real well. Now, don't be fooled. This is the third or fourth attempt at getting an area that I was pleased with. And even this one, you'll see later in the video, it goes through some... Or no, it already did. You saw that I shrunk it down quite a bit. It went through a couple different iterations, but oh goodness, it was a pain to figure out scale and size and where I wanted the cutouts to make it look kind of like a wharf and where I didn't, and how was I going to tie it back to Category 5. And I still have the huge problem of what the hell is going to go in that giant empty space between the train station and Category 5, because I don't have a clue. So I don't know what we're doing there, but anyway, you'll notice there's a lot of individual. There's a couple flat rides that aren't really flat rides. They're scenery pieces, and those were made. I'm pretty sure they were both made by JPAlmighT, and I will link them in the description in the video, and you can download them as well. They are fantastic little kiddie rides. We have a car ride and a boat ride. It was just too perfect, and so I wanted to have a whole bunch of kid attractions for this area, because I figured the upstairs, we'll call it, area is going to have a lot of shops and restaurants kind of for the grown-ups. And so if you got to go over there for, if you're a little kid and you got to go over there because your parents want to go pick out some souvenirs or go eat or something, at least there's rides for you, and vice versa. If you got to bring your snot-nosed, 5-year-old over there, well, at least there's some shops or some restaurants that are going to be over there. And so as far as what's going to be over here in this area, restaurant-wise, I want a brewery. I want a seafood restaurant. I want a chocolate or candy store, and it's got to sell saltwater taffy. Those are definites. There's going to be some other things, some gift shops and things like that. I have a couple ideas thrown around in my head, but those are the biggies. A brewery, a seafood restaurant, and a candy store that specializes in saltwater taffy. So that's what we're going with. And just trying out some ideas here, just kind of spitballing some things. And once we get the layout put out, you can see I put down some signs. Ooh, that camera's going crazy. And I want an outdoor theater. I think for now I want an outdoor theater. That may change. I don't know. And the purple sign by the whirly rig is going to have some gift shops themed to our wharf theme, and Spooky Pack right there. The phase 1 of this park is supposed to be vanilla, and now some commenters have said that it's still giving them the Knight Rider DLC, which I could have sworn I deleted all of it because I haven't used any personally, and I know I used Rudy Renkamel's golf cart at first, and I know he used those pieces, and once I'd forgotten and I uploaded it and I deleted it from the file. There must be something else. So it was supposed to be a no DLC phase 1, but now on phase 2 and subsequent phases after that, we will be using the DLC, mostly the Spooky Pack, because I bought the Knight Rider and the other IP DLCs, the Universal DLCs, but I don't use them very much. They're pretty specific, and they just don't do it for me. So anyway, we're going to use a lot of Spooky Pack in phase 2 here, and you can see these beams. Love the new Spooky beams. I think they're great. And we're just creating a simple fence, a simple rope fence to keep people from diving into the river/lake. And you'll notice we use the boards there to kind of shore up our edging, because like I said, terrain and paths do not mix in Planet Coaster. And That's another thing I'd like to mention. It's been a while since I've done a video like this, just me. Usually it's me and Mike, or me and somebody else, or whatever. But the new update's going to drop soon, the anniversary update, and kind of piggybacking off of things that are wrong with Planet Coaster. It's always nice to see that the developers really do listen. It's kind of impressive that they're going to be taking away some coaster restrictions, that they have already addressed friction, which is a lifesaver. We've used it to redo every coaster in No Name Landia. So I am really hopeful that as we inch closer to the release date, which I believe is the 22nd, don't quote me on that, that we'll get a lot more information about some under-the-hood updates, perhaps to Coaster Editor. I'm really hoping for smoothness. That'd be great. That'd be cool. Now, I think there's some things that they're never going to fix, just because I think it's a limitation of the game. I think paths and terrain, the way they interact, they haven't done anything really to it since launch, so I don't know why people are expecting them or consistently asking them to fix it. I think that if they were going to, it would have already. I don't know. So that's just my little, hey, I'm all for making Planet Coaster better, but I think there's certain things that they feel like they're getting to be beating a dead horse at this point. So, and that's not me. I'm not a Frontier fanboy. I'm not one of those people that just, oh, everything they do is amazing. But I'd like to think I'm also not one of those people that says, oh, everything they do is terrible. I'd like to think I'm firmly moderate on that position. So, I'm happy to see the changes that are coming and the new stuff. I'm really glad that they decided to take that flat ride, I call it the Himalaya, and get rid of that crazy huge cover. So, yeah. Anyway, I spent this whole time talking about stuff that's not on the screen. So these stairs, you might be asking yourself, why didn't you just build the in-game stairs? They were too steep. I thought they were too steep. I didn't like them. I didn't like the way it looked. So I said, I'll make a ramp and I'll make my own stairs. And that was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So, oops, that's not very good. And here we're covering up the seams and kind of starting to play with some ideas of color scheme. I think over this huge staircase, we're going to put a big sign that says blank wharf. Obviously, it's not going to be named blank wharf. Down in the comments below, if you've got a good idea for a name, remember the original name was Jonathan Lake. I don't want to keep it that. I don't want it to be Jonathan Wharf. Something fun, something unique, it can be humorous. It can pay homage to Conifer Slopes, the park, or my other work, Planet Coaster work, or anything like that. If you have any good idea for what we should name this wharf, throw it down in the comments, and maybe, just maybe, I'll use it. And if I do, of course, you will earn the credit that you so righteously deserved. I thought I was going to be really clever with this smaller staircase and just copy and paste, but no, it was too small. So that didn't happen. And then I thought I'd be clever and try to do 2 steps at once, and that also didn't happen. I realized the only way I was going to get it the way I wanted would be to do individual steps there. So, woof. It was a pain, but I think it turned out pretty decent. I decided to go ahead and run the game on low. It just runs so much smoother for me that way. I mean, I could have run it on medium. At least in Conifer Slopes, I can run it on medium without much issue. I just kind of forgot to put it up, to be fair. I run Bro Coaster, I run No Name Landia on low. So anyway, after we do these steps here, it's some more trimming up of the edges to kind of make it look more like a man-made wharf. And then some more ropes, and that's about it. Yeah, and we detail the bridge a little bit, and well, that's the end of the episode. Kind of a short beginning to phase 2 here. This stuff, personally, I don't find this to be the most exciting stuff when we're just kind of laying out the area. Maybe you do, and so apologies if you do. I don't. And so this video is a little bit shorter than the rest. Not that much, but a couple minutes. So in the next video, we're going to be continuing to detail, and maybe we'll start throwing up a shop or two and getting some of these areas looking a little bit more complete, because right now everything is really raw. We're just kind of getting some ideas down, like these rope fences here, those pirate fences. I figured that was a great place for them. But anyway, enjoy the rest of the time lapse and the ending cinematic. There's not much to show yet, but we're back, and we're going to be working on it. You can expect videos of Conifer Slopes every 2 weeks at a minimum. Hopefully every week, but I wouldn't count on that, because with BroCoaster and other things, who knows? So expect it once every 2 weeks at a minimum. And if you like the content on my channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big old like. That would mean a lot to the channel and to me. And I know we don't pimp for those things on BroCoaster, but we totally do in Conifer Slopes. So have yourself a great night, a great day, a great whatever. And I will see you for the next episode of Conifer Slopes. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.